Okay, we're going to look at integers and prime factor decomposition. I'm going to start with the number 60. Now, prime factor decomposition means that you're going to produce, or you're going to look for all the prime factors that divide this number. Okay, the most conventional way to do this is to start off with the smallest prime numbers, remembering that 1 isn't a prime number. Okay, so the first number that divides this in the primes, well, the first prime is 2. I can divide 60 by 2. So divide 60 by 2, and because I've divided it by a prime number, just circle it to remember that I've divided by a prime. Okay, 60 divided by 2 leaves 30. 30 isn't prime. Okay, so I can't stop at that point. I haven't only got prime numbers. So 30 divided by my first prime again, which is 2. And I can do that, so that's going to leave 15. Again, I've divided by a prime number, so I circle the prime number. 15 isn't prime. It's also not divisible by 2 though, so I have to go to my next prime number, which is 3. Now 15 is divisible by 3, so that works. And when I divide 15 by 3, I get 5. Now at this point, 5 is a prime number, so I've stopped my prime number. I've stopped my prime factor decomposition at this point because I've got all the prime factors that fit into 60. If I'm going to write this number now, which they'll expect you to do in the Module 3 exam, you have to write it, or the best way to write it is to say that this number is 60 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And if you're in the higher exam, and for most people in the foundation exam, they'll also expect you to know that you can simplify this to say that is 2 squared times 3 times 5. Okay, that there is writing 60 as the product of its prime factors. Okay, because this is fairly quick to do, I'll do a second example. Okay, another common number that they'll look at is 24, for example. So if I take 24, again, prime factor decomposition. 24 is not a prime number, so I start looking at my prime numbers. 2 is prime, so can I divide by 2? I can. When I divide by 2, I'm left with 12. 2 is prime. 12 is not prime, but I can divide by 2. I'm left with 6. 2 is prime. 6 isn't prime, so I've still got to keep on dividing by prime numbers. Now 6 also divides by 2, and that leaves 3. 3 is a prime number, so that's my last prime. And if I want to cut straight to the chase here, the answer in the higher paper you would say that 24 is the same as saying 2 cubed times by 3. Okay, if you're not too sure about that, then the longhand version of it is that it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And you can double check that if you're not entirely sure. 2 times 2 is going to give you 4, 2 times 3 is going to give you 6, 4 times 6 will give you 24. Any combination of these numbers multiplied up will always give you 24.